So, quick update on how things have gone in the last 2 weeks since we kicked off the UTS Ultra Trail Snowdonia 100-mile training. We're on a 3 hour hopefully run hike today to take us over 5,000 meters of climb for the week, and that is a big improvement on the week before and a bit of a change in tactics since I last spoke to you, because we were going to focus on fitness, train like a marathon runner, do some speed sessions, which all went well for about a week, but that on top of my strength training, getting back into that, and jumping around on the climbing wall when I was very tired with the kids, just got a bit too much, and I landed a bit funny off the wall, jumped off instead of climbing down, which if you're a climber knows that's a rookie mistake. Meaning that when I went out for my Sunday run, my calf had a bit of a slight strain, 8k in, on a flat surface, on the road, in my carbons, ended swiftly, and I walked back and did the walk of shame. So that followed a week of just being cautious, and I was on the bike a lot, the watt bike in the garage, and that was good. And I could run very easy, but I did just take the few days off, hammered the calf raises, saw the physio, because I'd much rather get it nipped in the bud and sorted. So then this week, all being well, we will hit over 5,000 meters of climb, which was the only target. So we're going for elevation, because let's be honest, this 100-miler in Snowdonia is a long hike, some easy running and lots of eating, if I'm honest. We're now 40 minutes in and 300 meters worth of climbing from the house. So don't ask me how far, because all week, like I say, all I've done is kept the elevation on, and time and elevation have been the only metrics I've been keeping an eye on. The weekly volume so far has only been, I think, 78k, so we'll tip over 100k today probably, and 5,000 meters. That'll be a solid first week, considering the week before I had to ditch the speed work and stuff. So I'm confident that we are on the right track now. Plus, I'm just feeling a lot more energized, a lot more motivated. Like, the last video wasn't really meant to be me talking about Christmas and before Christmas, and obviously losing Fergie the dog and the grief that followed and stuff like that, but I think if anything it did me a bit of good, because after I got home I didn't watch the video back. I had minimum amount of editing for that reason, and I nearly didn't post it because I thought, what the hell do people want to know about that for? The least interesting YouTube video ever. But the amount of messages I got, a few in the YouTube comments, but a lot privately on social media, I just wanted to thank you for that. So yes, if you've come from Instagram or something, a lot of the time it might look like I'm just fooling around, but I take my training very seriously, my coaching business even more serious, because that provides for my family, and also it's good to show that things don't always go your way, I guess. So yes, thank you for all the messages, and it's definitely helped in getting me energized and motivated for this next event, because let's be honest, if I fail at another 100, that's 2 in a row, it's gonna kind of look bad and I'm gonna feel bad about it. So this one means a lot to me to get it done, and in the best way possible. This is the kind of terrain we're on at the moment. That's why I've got the camera out, because I know I'm just going to be walking through this bog, so if I disappear, that's where I've gone. The main point I was going to make today is about nutrition, and it's something I realised going into after the arc failure there, really, and that, will this plank take me? Yep. And the fact that I've always, well, not always, But because I've been running so long and training for ultra so long, my gut is very good at taking a high amount of carbohydrate per hour. I'm talking 80 grams plus. And I'm always trying to help people or get people to realise that maximising your carb intake, whether that be 10 to 20 grams, 20 to 40 grams, so on, is a benefit. But also, what can sometimes happen is because I see myself as good at it and comfortable doing that in races, I hadn't really carried on that practice in training for the Arc. Yes, it was obviously disjointed and training wasn't great for it anyway, but the point being is I struggled a bit even getting the nutrition in the Arc, and that is because in the past I've always been good with my carb intake, so in training I just didn't bother for months beforehand, since the Dragon's Back in fact, which was September. So all through October, November, December, I'd go out on long runs maybe and just not take many gels, and maybe take the odd one, or maybe take a cheese sandwich, and not really get it nailed in, dialed in, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, today's point was really, even if your nutrition or your fueling has gone well in the past, keep practicing it before your next race. Don't take it as a given that your gut will handle it, because the conditions might be different, temperature, all that, the effort might be different, the terrain, and we just really need to keep that up in training. So for today, I've really focused on that. I'm out for 3 hours, not the longest run in the world, but enough for me to think, right, I'm going to focus on getting the carbs in. Okay, that was the main point. I've rambled on enough. We're an hour and 45 minutes in, and we've come from, that's the hill we came down. So it's nice because this gives me a long 20-minute downhill of running, and although on tarmac now, this is what's called the old Horseshoe Pass Road, which was more recently used for the uphill cycling UK champs, which was exciting. So you can imagine a mile long, it's about 20% all the way up, and then you get to a cafe at the top behind me, and then you can kick up again up the hill. So you can climb about 350 metres, which is what, 1,000 foot for people that work in that. And I can do reps on it I can do uphill tempos on it if that's what my thing is, like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever, especially through the summer. This is perfect for that kind of thing. So although not ideal for the poles, a couple of reps of this will take me up over 5,000 metres for the week, which was the target. And yeah, then we'll probably be heading back, because it'll be heading towards 3 hours by the time I get back. So all in all, successful day. I've had a couple of gels, and I'm going to have a bar in a bit. Okay, so we are in the last 25 metres worth of the climb, and it's a bit windier. There is some weather coming in behind me, but this is the last minute or so now, and according to the watch, yeah, just tipped over 1,000 metres, which is what I wanted from today, 2.5 hours ish. And now I've got back to the house is about 30 minutes, 5k, but again the benefit is it's all downhill apart from the odd little bump. So this isn't available to everyone, but at the UTS there's lots of long downhills, and the fact that I can run downhill to finish my run for 30 minutes is a benefit. It's not technical at all, a lot of it is on the lanes, but that doesn't detract from the fact that it's 30 minutes downhill, and there's not always an opportunity to do that. So yeah, feel pleased with that session today. Get back, and hopefully it will be in time for the kids haven't gone too mental in the house, because they're waiting for me to take them to the cafe for lunch and get that done, and then they want to go out on their bikes, and hopefully I still have time to watch the football, maybe the second half.